New and welcome everybody to Rustoria Beats Invaders. Today we have North America. You already played, but today we have 4-man squads. Joined with me in the casting booth is BlastRites. How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. I'm ready to see some rockets and some great PvP action.
Oh yeah, gonna see all the rating, but obviously we'll have 30 minutes of attacking phase. These teams have already had 30 minutes, build up these bases a little bit where they can't really attack each other, but 30 minutes of just pretty much PvP, no base rating, and then we'll have an hour and 30 minutes for these teams to raid each other. And looking at the map, we can see there's definitely a lot of clusters of people all around, so definitely gonna be interesting there.
Absolutely. That northwest side is going to be just non-stop action.
Yeah, and we've got a little peek at that, and we've seen some of them are a little bit some stun bases have shown up. These teams, obviously it's 4-man, so we have a little bit more teams here today, but you do have to be a little bit more careful with your resource main. But we're just watching right now as see if these teams can build up their bases.
Absolutely. I mean, the weaker your base is at the start, I mean, it's you still got to get this 30 minutes done. Maybe metal up your base some. I don't know if they even plan to. I didn't see really any furnaces going for them, so I don't know. Maybe they have a whole bunch of small furnaces inside their base.
We can hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some stone bases look like a very easy target,
there.
And they have a couple. They have a couple furnaces on the outside there, but I mean, there's some other bases that are definitely built up a little bit better. I mean, Flossie's base looking pretty nice right now. There's some nice bases, but again, it's going to be kind of like a dog pile for this one, where as soon as one team gets attacked, they're going to get attacked by every other team here. So it'll definitely be interesting, but obviously right now you can't raid. You got that 30 minutes to kind of build up your base, and get kills is the name of the game. Get those attack helicopters down.
Absolutely. You got to get those crates for either Bradley or the attack helis. It's very nice, but above all, those TCs are what really everybody's really here for, but you got to get the boasting again when you get that final screen and you see the how many kills each player gets.
Yeah, kills are important, but I feel like we talk about it every week that, I mean, it's nice to have an early lead. It's nice to have some of those extra points, and kills do end up mattering, but it will come down to what team can really get the most TCs without their own TC getting taken. Because, I mean, if you take a bunch of TCs early and get yourself super high up on that point leaderboard, it makes yourself a huge target for all those other teams, especially if you're one of those teams in this, like, a 9 blob of clans up here. It could put a huge target on your back.
Absolutely. We saw that happen last week in the NA tournament. The leader was, they just kept attacking them over and over again, just trying to take them out, and nobody ever did. But yeah, you definitely become a target if you're on that number 1 spot.
And I mean, it's nice. I mean, you want to have a lead, so it's kind of that balance you want to have, where you don't necessarily want to be the biggest target on the map unless you feel confident in your base defense. But I mean, it is nice to have a lead and obviously not be waiting till that last moment to know if you have won or not. But I mean, talking about points, I mean, some of the teams already putting some down. We got some kills on the board from a lot of these teams. Some of them we recognize, and almost 5 minutes already has passed in this attack phase. So down to just 25 minutes these teams will have left. And once that expires, we're going to get a lot of raids here.
Absolutely. And we have our first heli taken down already by PG.
They'll take it down pretty much in this open field here, and it looks like it's pretty much uncontested at the moment. But that'll be nice for them. Get themselves some nice loot, some nice points early to give themselves a little bit of a boost on the scoreboard. Only sitting at 2 points right now, so could definitely use these. But we'll have to wait for those fires to expire there.
And all they would have to do is open the box, since they have pretty much nobody in contention for it. I mean, it's going to be points for them, but they don't have to take the loot. They just have to open it and look what's inside, and to get those points.
Yeah, pretty much have to go up and touch them, and like you're saying, there's nobody really there to contest them, so it's gonna be pretty much free unless a team wants to make a super far rotate like over to try and stop them. But I don't think anybody really will. There's a couple bases somewhat close to them. I don't really think anyone wants to kind of contest it, and I mean, Nurik and this team Rock up on this hill here. They're kind of right next to each other, so if they kind of leave their base to go do something else, it's really dangerous because you have these neighbors right next to you, and they're not the nicest neighbors, I'd have to say.
No, and they're I believe both of these teams are regulars in this tournament, so it's going to be interesting between these two.
It'll be a fight for sure, and I mean, obviously they can't raid until the raiding period starts, but they can definitely get some kills, just be a nuisance, try and slap any building or whatever they can for it, and it'll be interesting because it'll be right away. I mean, you can't really go out and do anything else until you eliminate this neighbor of yours.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be hard for them, and you can see them being taken down already while they're trying to build. And he's just taking out all of the thatch he can.
Yeah, really trying to put down those shots. Just be a nuisance. If you can slow them down at all, and some nice shots actually from Rock, and they'll open it up, and it's just being a nuisance. The more you can stop them, the more you can slow them down. Will just make your life easier for when the raiding phase does come around. And again, shots traded back and forth again. Both these teams just shooting each other.
We have our one little solo base down here.
And the log cabin,
solo base.
Out on the water, you know.
Yeah.
They don't
just want to do their thing.
They're living for the scenery again. This is one of the scenery teams. They're not in it for the win. They're just in it. They just want to live on the water, the snow, log cabin. Furnace to heat them up, you know?
Yeah, the basics.
So an attack helicopter comes in and ruins their day. But
yeah,
not for now. Not for now.
And they're finally getting meddled up over here.
Yeah, again, another team that's kind of isolated away from everyone. Kind of interesting. It's an interesting strategy because you're not really around. You're not around other teams. There's a little bit less resources, and I mean, you're not going to get raided immediately, but it also is a very long trek to kind of go get those other points. So we often see these teams kind of fall short on the amount of points they get, but they are isolated. So if they can find something like a helicopter, something like that, to kind of travel that distance to get some of those TC downs, it could pay off here.
It could, but their stone base isn't gonna hold out too long. But hopefully they've at least meddled the inside of their base, the core.
Maybe it's just for the aesthetics. Maybe they're like, they're sitting with their designer. They're like, metal doesn't look that good. Let's just build with stone. Stone looking better. It'll give us more of that rustic feel. Maybe exactly. Not the best for the event.
As the HOA has deemed, they have to be stone.
The horse
Santa is.
Don't build with stone.
Yeah. Santa's given Big Johnner a run for their money, I guess. I don't know. Last is hanging out at gas station.
They're both chilling around. Some shots are being fired back and forth, and Santa has some of those walls up again. We've talked about how important it is when you're trying to traverse those open fields to kind of get those walls down, give yourself any protection you can. But right now, Big is just sitting inside this gas station, see what kind of resources they can get, retaking that roof to maybe get some of that extra high ground to look towards that open field.
Last was taken down, trying to get access to this crate. 3 minutes left on it.
Yeah. There's 3 minutes left for someone to take that. Looks like the reses will come through for Big here, but PG, it looks like they did get those crates off of the attack helicopter, so they'll be sitting in first place right now with 18. The best, we've talked about how consistent they have been, how consistently they've been showing up, and they got some kills, it seems like. So 16 for them. They'll be holding down second place, and Nurk in a pretty close third with 12. But again, those are just early leads. It's going to again come down to those who can get those TCs, who can get the more kills without getting their own base destroyed.
We have Deathwinger trying to find his way into this base.
Running into the barbed wire. Can't find their way in. Just slowly dying.
Try and try again. Oh, he already spotted that TC. That's why he's...
Yeah.
Just stay there until you get rockets. No reason to go anywhere else. And
Like
I'm
he's in
wondering
prison,
where...
like...
Yeah. Nice jump.
Okay.
Maybe they can boost. There you go.
Oh.
Oh, nope.
Oh no.
Try again. Maybe from the front.
Yeah, I think they saw the TC. Trying to get in. Oh, he is on top now. Chance they could find it. Just chilling, looking through maybe the slits of that board to see if they can see TC through there.
I mean, that is a common use in the regular game to spot a TC. I think they already have a pretty good idea that's probably where it is, but I guess we'll have to wait and see, and a little bit of crunching going on.
Falls from the high ground with like a little bit of damage, but yeah, it should be a pretty easy base if they do see that TC. It would be some nice and easy points, and point to the name of the game. That's what you want to collect to win. And PG still holding down that first place. They got that first attack helicopter down. I believe the second helicopter was inbound, but no one had taken it down just yet. So we'll have to see who can get that, who can get those points, and where it does land. Because if it does land up near this northwest, north area, I mean, it's going to be a bloodbath for who can actually get it. It is somewhat coming north, but looks like Ward is going to get some early shots on it. See if they can just shoot it down. It is a little bit far away from them, so just trying to put any shots really they can down. Probably won't get the last shot on it, but we will have to see.
Yeah, they need to get aggro on it, so it will head in their direction. Otherwise, it could be easily taken by that. Oh, that's already... Their chance is passed.
Yeah. Chance is gone, and now it is flying into that kind of group of everyone. XD is going to fall early here. They might have just disconnected or something of the sort, didn't get their base fully up. But there you go. The attack helicopter will fall. But it is not going to be safe where it has fallen. We talked about how PG was very safe with that first one, but this one is going to fall in the middle of all 9 teams. So it is going to be closest to Gleb, but I mean, it's going to be rough to go ahead and get those yourself.
Yeah, anytime they try to leave their gates, they're going to be attacked by their neighbors. I don't know if anybody will... I mean, I'm sure they're going to risk it because those points are definitely needed by a lot of these teams, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see this fight.
It's going to be a bloodbath for sure. And I mean, it's the choice of do you actually go for those points on the attack helicopter, or are you one of these teams that are close enough that can just sit on your roof and try and pick off some of those kills that are going to try and take it? But some walls being placed by some of these other teams to make their way forward. And I think that's what it's ultimately going to come down to, is all of these teams just building trench warfare and entrenching themselves into some walls. And I mean, they're close together, but there's still some empty field in between each of these houses. So it's not like you can run over for free unless you have those walls up.
No, definitely not. And Flossie, I know this is Gleb trying to come in on Ha, and they're already, it looks like, inside, and possibly trying to see if they can find an easy TC.
Yeah, if they can find one here, that'd be really good. If they're already inside, I mean, if they got let in, that'd be fantastic. And get a TC early is very massive. I mean, we talk about it, 40 points for each TC you collect. That would, I mean, anybody that would get a TC right now would be able to top the leaderboard. So, and we've talked about how important getting all those TCs are, getting those points, racking them up. Ultimately, that's what it's going to come down to.
LF Hot Mom and Gleb and Flossie all exchanging fire. Oh, Probite tried to get in there. Oh, Probitia? Not sure how to say that.
I'll go with it.
It's not like they ever make it really easy for us.
No, they don't. Every week they change their name. They just make them longer. They make them.
Well, like we have
Ababo
like... Gaga.
LF Hot Mom. Yep.
Yep.
Thanks.
There's a few. I'm like, okay, y'all remain the exact same that y'all do week in and week out. Thank you. I know who you are. Ooh.
And Ababo Gaga.
That'll be fun later when they're fighting off a little bit more and we have to say it often.
Yeah, that'll be great. Definitely interesting. But halfway through this attack phase already, some kills have been traded from a lot of teams. Attack helicopters have been dropped. But once these 13, 14 minutes are over, we're going to get into raiding phase. And I expect right here, and this is going to be a bloodbath town. It is going to be relentless, these teams raiding each other. But right now, there's still that attack helicopter that has been dropped right outside of the base. And a lot of these teams actually making the play to send some walls out, send some players out to try and go capture it. But shots being traded down. Looks like Hot Mom is trying to just roof camp right now, try and put some shots down onto this team that is trying to expand out, which is OTF.
Yeah, we have... They're still on fire, still on the open. 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, 5. That's 15 points sitting out in the open, guys. But of course, they have to wait till that fire goes out and they have to sneak over there. Gleb is opening their gate though, so they might be making a move out.
Yeah, they there's just points sitting there. It's like you're saying that they will see. But right now we're gonna hop on over and see some other teams that you can see. There's a lot of fighting going around. There's some kills being traded back and forth, and players just trying to gain control of whatever they can. Resources included in that. And just 12 minutes now. The best is gonna retake that first place position, tied themselves with PG. And another team to talk about is RNC, sitting at 20 points right now. Another team that has been super consistent. They appear in EU and NA very often. They have been one of those teams to very much watch out for, and we'll see how much damage they can do today.
They have some good cover up there and trying to, I don't know, was Bradley out? I didn't see. Looks, Bradley was destroyed, so. And RNC is over there, but they're exchanging fire with PG. I don't know if they're trying to make a move for the Bradley or just getting some points in.
Yeah, maybe you want to go for that loot, get some of those crates down. And I mean, still, I mean that this group of death, this neighborhood of death, still has some of these crates sitting out here, and it's just anybody that tries to run over for it seems like they are just absolutely getting massacred right now. So I mean, it's tough. I mean, we talked about how some of these teams would rather just camp on the roof, get that 1 point for the kill instead of risking their own life, try and go out and touch one of those boxes.
Yeah, Ukraine warriors trying to at least take down the ones he sees moving towards the crate, but he's LH Hot Mom is doing a pretty good job keeping him back.
Yeah, they have some of those walls up, so just to protect one of their sides at least, so they're not completely out in the open. But even still, I mean, Gleb's gonna get some of those points. It does look like it will tag some of those crates because they're right outside of their house. They're pretty easy to grab, and Gleb is gonna jump themselves up into that first place position. But LF Mom is gonna go for all these crates, see if they can grab some extra points. Looks like most, if not all, the crates will be touched at this point, so they will lose their life for it, and all that loot will be dropped right next to Gleb's house. But good on Gleb. I mean, it spawns pretty much right next to them, and they go out and they take it.
Yeah, that looks like LF might have gotten 2 if those hadn't already been opened. And we have another heli inbound. It's going to be non-stop action.
Yep. See where it comes through. We'll see if it maybe makes its way again to this this group of 7, 8, 9 houses here. But there's already some fighting going on, some kills being traded back and forth. And this is Pickle's house, I do believe.
So Gale has moved in on their base.
Yeah, they served him an eviction notice, but it was instead with rockets instead of papers. So
Yep, they will be forcibly removed.
Yep. See how that does fare, but other team, I mean, Abobo Gaga, one of the teams we have been talking about with the funny name, but it seems like they've been really putting down some nice kill points. They've been pushing onto this stone base here, which, I mean, the HOA may not save you from those rockets when they do come in, and some nice shots also to get a couple of kills back. So, I mean, topping the leaderboard right now, you can tell they've been putting in work. You can tell they've been putting in kills. And, I mean, they're definitely looking at this base. I mean, we only have 9 minutes until they're able to raid, and they already look like they have a juicy, juicy target for themselves.
Absolutely. He's probably feeding the information back to his teammates. They're going to start gearing up and make a move. Although they say they'll have to worry about Nash. Oh, hard to aim coming in.
Yeah, they'll lose one of their players there on the rotation, but yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. And right now, a little bit of a point discrepancy. I mean, Gleb, Upavo Gaga, and RNC kind of topping the leaderboard right now. But, I mean, we talked about it. TC's worth 40, so any of these teams that really push for it and get one of those TCs could just jump themselves up immediately to the top of the leaderboard. But I mean, the stone bases definitely look like the most valuable targets. I mean, an easier base to raid is easier points for you. You just got to be careful that, I mean, you don't make too much noise around it and someone else comes in to snatch it.
Absolutely. Got to stay on top of those points, know where you are, and know what you need to get to win.
Just roof camping right now. Most of what the team's doing, they're just chilling out. You know, just want to make sure they can get their own base locked down. I mean, you got to upgrade your base too. Send some players out. We talked about how 4-mans you have limited number of people, and meaning you have a limited number of teams you can send out. So you really do have to be careful, because if you send out all 4 and there's no one back to defend your base, then it can be rough. You can go down really quick, and especially if you're one of the stone bases, you only have 7 minutes to really get yourself upgraded and going.
And RNC is taking on Heli. They pretty much have it by themselves. I don't see any other teams around. I think they pushed back the other team that was out there earlier.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll have to see if they can make use of that heli. We talked about how some of those teams that are far away like to use this heli, but I mean, even if you are one of the teams in that packed kind of area, you may want that. And RNC, yeah, they're gonna make their way over to it, and it looks like it's kind of dropped again in really the middle of nowhere, kind of around no one else. So RNC again making a really aggressive, nice play to get themselves those points, get themselves that loot, and get themselves these crates.
Yeah, and we have tons of people with kill streaks. That was Titanium with Santa. So they're getting some action. Santa is currently... Where are they on that list? I'm just not seeing them. 10th with 23 points.
Yeah.
And they've
Yeah,
got their boat base kind of design again.
Yes, the Titanic, the famous Titanic build from Santa. It like the actual Titanic did get sunk, I believe, in past usage of it, but we'll see how it works out today. I mean, it is a really nice base. It has a lot of I mean, it's very small and compact, but it also has a lot of places that TC could be hiding. So it's pretty easy to defend. I mean, obviously they know where the TC is. We see if any teams actually do make their way over to Santa, because they aren't really into that pack of like huge grouping, but they still are a raidable base.
Sure, you just have to get past all the great PvPers that are on their team. They usually put up one hell of a fight every time they're in any kind of action.
Right. The PvPers, pack phase, veterans.
Yes.
But I mean, 5 minutes left here in this attack phase. We only got a sixth of it left, and once this time expires, I mean, all heck is gonna break loose up in that everywhere. Honestly, I mean, everyone is going to be looking for those TCs, looking to defend their own. And I mean, this two teams that we definitely talked about earlier does have a third party coming on in. It is WL. We're gonna be pushing on from that low side of the hill. But these two teams, we talked about how they want to get rid of each other first, and it's going to be interesting to see who can really win out in this fight, because both bases would look actually pretty strong. And you talked about how both these teams have showed up in the past and have performed in the past, so it'll be interesting to see them kind of fight each other.
Yeah, it looks like somebody was trying to set up a raid platform on the other side of this, like behind us. And I'm not sure if that was WL or if they were just taking a peek at what was going on and if it was worth it.
Yeah.
And thinking they think it probably isn't. I was going to say that terrain is really rough to get up those hills.
Yeah,
and
the king of the hill.
Yeah, and shoot those rockets from that angle. It wouldn't be good for them. And they just go away.
Yep, they'll take the car, they'll drive on away, don't really want to push up into that. And again, it's just pretty much just going to be a 4v4 right there. And it's going to be one of those interesting fights, but I think more interestingly, it is going to be, again, we talked about it for 30 minutes, that group of 9, there's a couple stone bases that we saw there, don't know if it got upgraded yet, but I mean, this is where the attack helicopter landed. It looks like it isn't just RNC that is here now, so see if another team was trying to come contest it. There will be some firefights trade back and forth, and RNC losing their first player.
Yeah, Lika taking the shots, but there's still Joker, Ed Tripler, some other good shooters out there. They're just moving in towards the heli and securing that loot.
Yeah, I really want to secure that. I mean, getting those points will be huge, but again, I mean, no team is really, there's a couple teams that are over 40, but it's just a few. So getting yourself a TC will be massive, and in 2 minutes and 30, they will open up, and it is going, all heck is going to break loose for an hour and 30. No one is going to be safe.
Yeah. Joker's moving in, getting the loot, getting those points, while Ed Tripler is giving him cover against Lika.
Right. That's smart. The nice teamwork, nice communication. They'll touch those boxes to give themselves those points. You can see RNC just boosting themselves up in the leaderboard, trying to keep up with all of these other teams that obviously have been getting these skill points, have been getting these other helis, and RNC, there you go. They're going to jump themselves up to that 40-point marker. Not in first just yet. I believe they do have one more crate. If not, I mean, they're still only 4 points behind that attack helicopter. But it's exactly what you're saying. The communication between the two players, one of them just defending, one of them getting those points, was so smart for them. It seems like Lika only had one of those players kind of delegated to go over here. So RNC does end up winning that out.
And that's massive for them. They're now sitting in second place. And I mean, and with their raid phase about to begin, they can start moving back to their base, gear up, ready to go out, and boom.
Oh, yeah. We have seen them in the past, really go crazy, and getting that early lead, it's important. You know, give yourself a boost of that confidence, holding, like you said, second place, 44 points. That attack helicopter was huge to jump themselves up into that position, but only a minute left for these teams. If you have not built your base up, well, it's probably too late. I hate to say. I mean, teams have been scouting out. They've been looking what base they want to raid immediately, and it looks like this base right here is going to be one of the targets.
Absolutely. They already know or have a really good idea where the TEC is. Now it's just a matter of getting some other teammates out there to help cover them while they climb those ladders.
Yeah, it's mostly stone. It's pretty small. Seems like it's going to be an easy raid for anyone that really tries to run for it.
I think those were also wooden shutters that were open on that one side. It's
Rough.
a good use of wood, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not going to hold up very well.
I like the designers. You know, they're not focused on strength of the structure. Okay, they're just focused on, you know, the interior decoration. I bet that's what they spent most of their time on. I have to say, you know, getting a nice, comfy look inside while rockets come in. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, and we.
All right.
Looks like Vladosik is up on that side.
Mhm.
He must have laddered up or gotten in there somehow. I'm not really sure if he was able to ladder up earlier, but he got in.
They are in. They are ready. They are ready to invade. Pushing on in, and again, this base is really small. It's the kills are coming through too. The firefight is great. Looking for this TC. It is not on this shooting floor, but some C4 will be broken.
Yeah.
There you go. It's gonna be a quick one right there, blowing up. And there you go. GigiPetrolistu is going to be eliminated. A really nice targeting there from Vladosky. Just very well done. I mean, they notice that they're a stone base. They walk in and they take it.
Yeah, quick 40 points. Get them up to the top of the leaderboard. And here's the next stone base that will be going. Now, I would imagine there's probably sheet metal in there. I would at least hope so, but we never know.
Right. Never know. And actually, Ha is going to be eliminated by Gleb. We saw Gleb kind of pushing out towards them, but again, this is the very messy neighborhood. It is going to be hard to stay safe here. And I mean, Gleb taking out that first team, really nice. Ha only having those 2 points, kind of placing themselves in this neighborhood. But just rockets. I mean, there's a disclaimer when you sell all these houses that you're gonna hear rocket fire all night. So maybe not the best houses to live in.
Definitely not. Lots of complaints coming in. We have Just Bald taking on OTF, or is this American Space? American Space. And there are two focused on rocket rating Probiet.
Yeah,
No.
they're just
This OTF.
they're sending those rockets down like you're saying, but maybe not focusing on those players on the low ground. But again, everyone in this town just looking to attack each other right now. It looks like OTF really does want to make this play towards Americans, who have put down a decent amount of kills in this first attack phase. They're sitting at 41 in 5th right now, and OTF, even though they're playing really aggressive, it doesn't look like their base is super strong on the inside. So if Americans do choose to make a play over here, could be a little bit easier base to take.
Absolutely. So we saw a little bit of sheet metal on the inside, but that was it. It's still a lot of stone, easily to get through.
And another two teams that are going to be looking to invade onto each other, RNC. You talked about them getting that patrol helicopter, sitting at 49 points right now. And they're going to be looking to take out Lika. Again, it's important to take out your neighbors before taking out anyone else, because you can't really make those long trips if you have someone that can raid you that's right next to you. But for right now, RNC is sitting in a pretty good position. They're sending some rockets down. But I think Gleb right now, I mean, they definitely made that play to take out Ha, and they're deserving of that first place right now.
And we have Lika shooting some roof rockets on RNC. And we have WL on the other side trying to come in, and I'm not sure, they haven't really set up any rockets. It just looks like some PvP action at the moment, or I don't see rockets on any of their backs.
No, I do believe WL was the team that was trying to like kind of push up that hill towards the Nurik kind of duo of clans up there. So kind of again pushing towards another kind of isolated-ish fight. It's not more near towards their base, but I mean they took the car towards the other one, so maybe they took the car towards this one. And we'll see if they can do. So RNC going to be in a little bit of a sandwich right now between these two teams as WL does push onto their backside.
Yeah, I think WL may try to see if there's a quick opening they can get in, or take out somebody who's heading over with rockets or C4 and take them out.
Yeah, that would be smart if you can take out some of the other players and kind of steal their loot at that time. But looks like we will have another kind of stone base here, and some C4 already going down. Pickle is going to be eliminated.
Yeah, they were working on that. It's...
Oh wow. Yeah, C4 just blowing holes through the entire base. As we'll see what they can do. And I don't know if this is pro bite. Yeah, sure. We'll go with it.
I was gonna say probitje. I'm not sure.
So this is actually
Awakened.
Awakened. Yeah, it looks like just a base, I guess, offline. So two of these teams trying to go in and maybe get some of those supplies, get what they can from it. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Could be. It could be XD. They were eliminated. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, talking about being eliminated, it looks like Abobo Gaga, they want to get some of those eliminations here, as we saw them really active in the attack phase, getting lots of those kills. But here they are trying to take out BM, who's going to close some of those doors, trying to close down their cozy little home as those rockets flying in from all around. I mean, this man is just in his pajamas staring as these people raid him with rockets.
Nice little flip.
Hate to see it, but it looks like Abobo Gaga going to push in a little bit further. That C4 going to try and destroy some of these walls, try and find that TC, and putting whatever they can down to try and find it. The nice cat garage door is going to be broken through, and I mean, you gotta feel like they're pretty close to finding it with the size of this base.
Oh, it looks like Mango and his crew are gonna come in and counter them.
Yep. They see an easy target and they're like, we don't care that someone else is here. Let's go on in and try and take it from them. They did all the work. Let's just go steal it. But there will be a little bit of a firefight between them, and one of the players of Mango Squad will fall. So losing the first, as it really looks like both teams just want this super bad and just really firefighting for it.
Quickly. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't want to come across Deathwing or most of these players.
Yeah.
I'd be dead in an instant. I wouldn't even get a shot off most of the time.
Yeah.
Nice coverage.
All these players, honestly, they practice so much. It's scary sometimes. But Ladowski going to be sitting up inside in this top part, sitting on the bed, you know, maybe taking a little nap, get his strength back to continue to raid this base, as hopping up to another floor and seeing if they can just find that TC. Have not found it yet.
They haven't, but I have a feeling that's only a matter of time.
Okay, we just need Kaz. We just need Kaz to flip off of it so they can find it.
Exactly. And RNC's base is definitely taking some damage from the roof, but it looks like they may be returning rockets.
Yep.
I'm not
Some
sure.
back and forth. You know, it
Yeah.
is Lika and RNC again. They both have done really well in the early game, but again, it's just you gotta fight. You gotta fight each other. And RNC, they're gonna be sending Eclipse out to try and take this Lika player down. A couple of these players that rotate a little bit further, and Deathwing is going to be on an 8-kill streak. But Lika, some nice shots. I mean, they're winning their gunfights right now, and they're putting down some nice rockets, putting a pretty decent hole so far into this RNC base, and it's looking good so far for them. And RNC, obviously, they've had that other team. They've had WL on their other side, so they've kind of had to look towards two fronts. And I feel like it's kind of distracting them enough that it's giving Lika that upper hand.
Yeah, and if they keep going in there, and they're doing a great coverage on the gate, making sure none of the RNC players can go after them.
Mm.
All right, and we have here, we have Nash. Oh, Pickle was eliminated.
Unlucky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I believe that was a team that was already eliminated.
Yeah. I'm talking about a team that isn't eliminated. I mean, there's still this stone base. It has some of those doors still around. You know, it's kind of that random pick a door, any door kind of a deal there. But they haven't found it yet, and it's just gonna be a stone base on the water. But you can see the best is going to start. It looks like they're raiding phase onto just all, putting down some of those rockets, trying to gain themselves some access to this bottom floor.
These are going to be some two powerhouse kind of like teams going at each other.
Oh yeah.
And we have the Rat Jamesy. He always finds a way into bases. It's so fun to watch him. And there we go. There's the core.
Some rockets, you know, squeezing through those doors, and we'll see what he can do. Setting up some ladders, seeing if he can get some C4, some other things down, trying to blow a hole in this base, and it seems like just Ball don't really know yet. I would say. I mean, they're taking out a couple players on the outside, but it still looks like he is putting down a lot of work here, putting down some of those C4 to try and take them down further into their base. And again, more C4, but he's gonna get shot. It looks like, yeah, he's gonna get shot and will die.
Just Ball defending, although a few of the doors will be taken out.
Yeah.
Nice access point to the roof. No. That's interesting. I don't think I've seen many of the spiral staircases being used inside. I kind of like it.
Interior decoration, you know, again.
Yeah, exactly. Just Bald is doing pretty good. They defended that raid, which will give them points. They can earn up to 40 points for defending raids. It's time-based. So the longer you hold off your attackers, the more points you get.
Yeah, a little bit of points there, and obviously it's good to defend, because once your TC falls and you are out for the rest of the event. So it'll be interesting to kind of see those fights, and neither of those duos that we talked about that are kind of right next to each other have really made a move yet to take each other out. They've both been just kind of putting rockets down from afar, and we'll eventually see who does win out in those. But I think again, this raid is going to be interesting. It looks like Santa's going to be pushing on in. Some shots will not go through, as the team fire is really good to take down a player of Santa. But I mean, you can just see those red circles all over this town up here. Again, 8 teams, 7 teams, I believe, still up in here. It is going to be crazy. OTF looks like they have a pretty big hole into their base. I don't think that was an aesthetic design.
No, they weren't just looking for the view. Well, Americans definitely have just been non-stop pummeling this, but I don't think really any other players have hopped in there yet.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like really any other team wants a piece of it, and that other base that was in the water will be broken down into materials. But you said American, I mean, they're putting down really good rockets, and I feel like soon they should make a move to try and walk over. But it looks like the best is actually up into American's base now, so they're just putting pressure everywhere. They're gonna walk in, take down one. All of a sudden, he's got a lot of loot. He's got an entryway right there if he does have a ladder to get himself in, but he will get taken down from one of those
Great
triangle
peaks.
open. Yeah. Yeah, OTF, they're gonna have a hole in the side of their base, and hopefully they can try and repair that up. But it's just gonna be a fight over here in the water. It looks like Flossie is gonna be taking on Sussy Gaio, who they're both kind of fighting each other. It looks like there's actually 3 teams over here, so a lot of these teams looking for some loot, looking for some entryway into those other bases for now. But looks like a 1v1 will come through, and Flossie just gonna put down some great shots. You know, push these players back and take as much space as they can.
Yeah, they're trying to fight over maybe some of the loot in here, get some more rockets C4 if this team had any. I'm assuming there probably is some, but most of that was probably taken by whoever raided.
Yeah, probably you'd have to assume. I mean, it did fall pretty early, so I assume that loot is already gone. But talking about gone, I mean, we've already lost 15 minutes in this raiding phase, so a chunk of time already gone here. And I mean, you only got an hour 15. It's a lot of time, but that time will go by quick. And if you are not using it effectively, you will drop out of those placements fast. I mean, we can see Vladowski is already up to 103 points, Gleb up to 90 points, Robite is up to 91, so that top 3 looking very stacked, and if you don't start making moves now, you will slowly fall out of that leaderboard.
Absolutely, and Papitos is taking on Bedolagi? Bedolagi?
Yep.
And getting a decent hole in there. Still a lot of sheet metal to go through, and we see high qual used, so I'm assuming probably some of the high quals in the core as well.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit more of a rough base to raid, but again, this base is still alive here, it looks like, as Ladowski and Abobo Gaga have, neither team has really found this TC yet. And I mean, another one of our duo squads here, looks like RNC, they're gonna have a hole in their base. We talked about how they're getting pushed from both sides, and this hole is pretty massive actually, so the whole bottom yeah,
they're trying to foundy this thing. Oh my gosh,
that's really smart. The hole is nice, and I mean, we talked about how RNC had kind of 2 teams, like 1 on each side, and it's just been really tough for them to defend, and these rockets just raining down non-stop.
yeah. KTO is trying to get over there, maybe rebuild or see what the damage is, but
damage is a lot.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of damage. I mean, if a few more rockets in certain places and your walls are gonna fall.
Right. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
rough. It's a great strategy from Lika that are just constantly putting down these rockets, and it seems like they have really taken no damage. They've taken a little bit on their outside, but nothing really else, and these rockets are just so nice to rain down. Like you said, the structural foundation trying to be targeted to try and take them out, but our team on the water might actually be in a little bit of trouble, as looks like a WL is, I believe, raiding another base here.
Oh, WL is the one defending.
Right.
Or they did defend.
It looks like a successful defense. Now we know that WL, that's why they're making all those long rotates, is because they are one of those isolated teams that really need to make those long rotates, and it seems like that base hasn't really been paying off for them so far, only sitting at 23 points. We'll see if they can get any of those successful raids off. Seems like they're trying to just go in third party, maybe steal a TC, but it hasn't been working.
Yeah. The location, I mean, of your base is definitely a key in this. It'll either hurt you by being on top of 5 other bases, or or you're so isolated it takes you so long to go anywhere, even if you did find a TC.
Yeah, exactly. And PG, it looks like they're sending down some rockets here. They want to blow open these doors, try and find the TC, and again, it could be in any one of these, so just trying to get lucky, trying to find which one it is in, but some nice rockets, some nice C4 going to be put down. Some shots going to be traded back and forth too. Again, this team is going to try and defend their base, but PG wants none of it. They want this TC, they want those 40 points, they want to jump themselves up on the leaderboard.
And these advent Okay, this is Manepofic. So lower on the lower on the leaderboard. I mean, only 11 points, but they're also fairly isolated, I think.
Yeah.
And BM was eliminated.
Yeah, so that was the team that was up kind of by themselves. That was kind of being raided by Abu Bagaga. And it looks like Ladowski actually, they do come in. They do take that TC. So very well done from them. And it is going to jump them up into a solidified first place position right now. 157 points. A great start for them. This guy not doing so great. Stuck in the floor there. But only 20 minutes passed and they're already at 150 points along with those attack points. So very well done. Again, they get that kind of counter raid. They kind of want to push in on the other side, and they find a way to just kind of steal it from Abu Gaga.
It was a great steal. I mean, that's it pays to counter, especially if you can beat them at the PvP and be faster with your rockets and C4.
Yeah, that's pretty much the name of the game. Is who just if you're the team inside, it's rough because you're getting raided by two teams. But the other two teams that do raid it, honestly, just comes down to the firefights. Come down to who can maybe get a little bit luckier on those rockets. But I mean, PG, they are putting down a lot of rockets here. They want this base, they want this TC, and they want to find it. We talked about how Nipovic is down kind of lower on the leaderboard, but it's still 40 points. It doesn't change the value of their TC. Send some down and destroy these doors.
So many doors.
Last is going to be out, eliminated by Santa, one of those teams that has been pretty consistent. They'll jump themselves up to, looks like about 100 points, so not too bad at all, at least keeping themselves in contention. They will probably need at least one more TC to keep in with the race, and Ladowski, you got to keep going. You know, there's a target on your back. We talked about that being in that first place position. A lot of teams do want to take you out. But if you can keep up these points, if you can keep it going, you have a chance to win this thing if you can keep your lead.
Absolutely. It looks like RNC was able to build a little bit. They're still continuing to build, but when they do repair like this, the health of the material is not at 100% health. So,
right.
Maybe they're out of rockets.
Yeah, Liga may have run out of resources to trying to attack them, and it's like you said, it will have a little bit less health, but it is still some nice repairs. They will not get eliminated early here, but for RNC, I mean, it's kind of rough for both of these teams actually, because they have been really focused on each other. They have not had time to go out and really fight anybody else. So really, the only points they have are from fighting each other. And at the moment, that's all they really can do. Because if they walk out too far, that other team just knows that they're not there and will take their base super quick. So right now, they're both kind of struggling on that leaderboard. I mean, they're not doing horrible in terms of points, but they could be doing better if they took each other out.
Yeah, we have Just Bald here on top. Is this Papito's base? Right. Oh no, Betalagi.
Oh.
And Manepafic was taken out by PG.
Yeah. They will, they'll get in there. We saw PG was really pushing in, trying to get through those doors, and they finally get that TC down. That will be some very much needed points from PG, jumping themselves up to 84. And I mean, sucks to see it from an Epific, but it seems like they weren't home. So they must have been raiding somebody else. They must have been out doing something else and end up paying the ultimate price. We talked about how with only 4 people, it's really hard to delegate your resources. And without sending out 4 people, you don't really have a strong enough raid. But if you send out all 4, you have nobody home to communicate that you are getting raided.
Yeah. And I'm surprised and not surprised to see OTF's base still standing. I mean, with all the counters that's going on, it's hard for anybody to actually just focus and get in there quick.
Yeah, it is tough. Americans are going to make the play for it, it looks like. They have taken down a couple players of OTF, but it's still just an absolute trench warfare going on here. It's just firefights after firefights, people trying to take any ground they can. And it's rough. I mean, we talked about how many teams are here, and you can just get shot from a random angle. It's not like it's isolated at all. And Americans, I feel like they're the one team that has the best chance to take out OTF, but if you start making the play towards OTF, you make all that noise, it is definitely going to attract some of these other teams here in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah, everybody wants in on the action. So we have Hot Mom moving in, Probitia, Sasayego. It's just everybody.
Yeah, everybody wants a piece. Everybody wants a slice of that cake. Everybody wants some of those points. And I mean, we talked about how some of these bases are a little bit weaker and are the focus. And it seems like OTF, one of the bigger targets right now, just because of that stone base. But again, Americans, it seems like they have one of the better chances right now to start and get there early. But again, if you do not take it quick, one of those other teams will be there to scoop it up from you.
Oh, looks like there's a Papitos team in here as well. So this is two teams going on Betalagi. But yeah, there's still a little Papitos in there, and Danny.
Some of these other teams, just pushing on in, trying to take it out. But see if they can make this defense. It is again one of those kind of random. What's behind door number 1? What's behind door number 2005? Because there's so many of those doors, you really don't know where it is. But one of the players that just balled will be fallen outside, caught out. But Papitos, it looks like they're going to be pushing down from that high ground. They have a little bit of a nicer, some beds set up, some ratings set up to try and get easy access into this base. But it looks like we have, again, 3 teams converging onto one place. And WL, we know they're that team that have made those long distance treks who are going to be massacred here by PG, who are going to get some early kills. And PG, we just saw them take a base. So I really like this aggressive nature from them. I really like how they're playing. And if they could get this second TC of the day, they could really jump themselves up into contention.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So no, this is PG's base. So while they were away raiding, looks like Big Johnner and WL were trying to get in here.
Ah, that's actually interesting. See if they can defend, because it's like you're saying that they were away. They might not have been paying as much attention to their own base. So instead of going for a TC, they're going to be trying to get these defense points. But I mean, Big is going to put a lot of effort here to try and raid this. And WL, it just seems to be a nuisance everywhere. It seems like they're teleporting on everywhere. Like, they are that isolated base. They don't really have anybody raiding them, so they're just like, okay, we'll send it to this base. Well, there's action going on, we'll send it to this base. Why not? We'll go on to everybody. But it seems like Big has the advantage right now. They're putting on down some good rockets. See if they can find this TC of PG and eliminate this team that has been super aggressive.
Yeah, and Big Johnner has enough boom. I think this is the first time I've seen them with any kind of rockets or C4 attempting it. WL is coming in and trying to sneak some rockets in and taken down.
Yeah, WL, I mean, they're just like a snake. They're trying to sneak in through the grass and trying to steal these TCs, but I feel like their just timing hasn't been the greatest. I mean, it seems like their players just kind of getting massacred when they walk in, and Big is really playing it really well. They're taking down a lot of these doors and really not letting WL steal anything from them right now. And PG, I mean, you gotta be a little bit scared if you're PG right now, because Big is doing a really great job at dismantling this base.
But one of the best things for anybody who's defending a raid is having counters come, because people raiding are distracted. I mean, you can see PG just took out some of the Rocketeers. So they might, if they can move quickly, get some doors back on, clear out the area, but they haven't really been able to get back in.
Yeah, it's very interesting, because those like you were saying, that other party coming in kind of distracts that team that is rocketing. They have to pull out different guns. They have to make sure they don't die to that other team. And it gives a chance for PG to kind of get a reset, get some of those players killed. And it looks like it's going to be a successful defense. As the last player of WL running here through the open, he will get sniped down. So PG, a very good, successful defense, will keep themselves alive in this game.
So now they can focus on putting up doors again, getting rid of that raid. Did they put a raid platform out? I can't remember. Or if that was one of the other ones we saw. I don't think so. So yeah, very nice to defend.
Yep.
And it's getting quiet again.
Quiet as it can be, and 30 minutes have passed here in this raiding phase, so an hour in total already gone for the attack and the raid phase. So I mean, you have an hour left. You got 2 times what you've just expended in the raid phase. But right now, Vladowski still holding down that top position. Doesn't seem like they have been stopping. And Gleb will actually be eliminated. So our second place team is going to fall here. Flossie is going to take them out. It looks like they put a really nice hole in, just walked in, and I believe this is in the Town of Death. So another team falling just makes every other team increase on the target priority list.
Yeah, right on an exterior wall.
Wow. It's crazy. Crazy lucky, and I mean, you can see how many deaths are going on around. It looks like OTS base is finally going to be the big target from everyone. Americans are in here. LF Hot Mom is in here. They are both really looking for this TC. They both want to scoop it up. And if you're one of these other teams in the town, you're like, oh, let's just hop on too. Why not? Let's go try and get ourselves a TC.
Yeah, you never know. If you can get a couple of blown doors open, you might be able to sneak a TC.
Right.
I think that's probably one of the most demoralizing things for the teams that have been raiding the longest, is to have somebody come in, just blow one door, and they found TC when you've been looking for like half an hour.
It's rough because, I mean, it doesn't even matter who puts down all of the work to dismantle the base. It is just who destroys that TC. So if you have, like, I mean, it looks like Americans. They have been putting down work. They have taken down almost all of these doors, and anyone at this point could come in and scoop it up.
Absolutely. All right. He's just checking to see what doors. I still see doors on, so there's still many more options. In no man's land. Here we go. Hard to aim.
Yeah, pushing on in. I'm trying to get some of those rockets down.
Yeah.
Try and get themselves in. There's already some ladders to, you know, trying to hop up in, trying to see what they can do. Looks like Reward is going to be, I believe, this is their base. So I believe they're going to be trying to defend as much as they can and trying to save themselves as we dip into this below the hour mark.
Yeah, they're trying to peek around, but I think they've been out by themselves so long, they haven't having to worry about anybody. They were able to cook up some high qual and get in here and make their core really hard to get into.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really nice base. I'd have to say that, but I would also feel that Reward is, I mean, they're not in the greatest position right now. They're sitting at 8 points, maybe not the most in the world, and I mean, they're kind of isolated, like you said. They haven't really made the trip to go really raid anybody. They've been more focused on defense, which is okay. I mean, you do want to live, but you also at some point will have to get aggressive and start pushing towards some of those other teams. But a chopper on fire will be trying to fly over this sea as see what those players can do. But the Town of Death is just reduced now to 6 teams. Still a lot there, and the 4v4 we have been seeing all day long. Nurik and Rock, both teams still putting down lots and lots of effort onto each other. It looks like Nurik gonna lose a few players up onto that roof. Some of those rockets going to fly on in. No, again, neither team has taken each other out.
No, looks like they're just spending their time getting rockets down, maybe taking out some beds that were previously up on the roof. So taking out respawn points is definitely an important part of the game.
Oh yeah, it's very important, but it's tough to mention. But again, these two duo teams, Nurik and Rock, are both, I mean, they've been focused on each other the whole entire game, and they are sitting at 55 points and 41 points respectively, and that's just not going to be enough to win you the game right now. You really have to make a move, and you're going to have to do it sooner rather than later, because the more time you spend just sending rockets out on your neighbors and not actually pushing in to try and take down their base, it's more time that other teams are just getting good raids off.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems is like when you're choosing your location to build. I mean, yes, it's always fun to want to go next to a neighbor that's going to give you a fight, a nice fight, a challenge. But at the same time, the length of time it takes you to take them on, get a good position, or break into their base is too much, and they can't leave to go after another raid because those guys can easily take them on.
Yeah, and it's nothing against these teams. Both of those teams are very, very good. It's just that it's exactly like you said. You want to get that fight early, but if it's against one of those other high tier teams, it is going to go back and forth for a while.
Yeah.
So, I
And
mean,
maybe
we'll
they're
see what
able
they
to get a
decide to
few.
do.
Yeah, they may be able to get a few defense points off of it, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what they do, but at the moment, it looks like Papitos is going to be pushing down the hill here. They do have some beds set up to try and get themselves easy access here to it. Looks like Bedolagi, who is going to try and be defending. They'll put down some walls, trying to take some shots through them. As Bedolagi, the push out is not successful. That one player will die, but it's really good so far. I mean, they're coming down from the hill, so definitely want to have that cover. It seems like they also have those beds to get those reses off. So overall, good so far. They're not up towards the outer wall just yet, but it will probably be a good raid for them.
Yeah, they need to start rocketing. I mean, there's still so much wood exterior. Break their way back in. And we have an attack on Lika. That RNC. We have Joker up on the top of launch. So there's that double angle.
Yeah, it's pretty huge, and that's a smart decision from RNC. It's the same exact decision same exact situation we were just talking about with those other two teams. That you're your next door neighbor, you have to take them out, and they're getting double angle, so they can attack from two different sides, making their presence kind of as two teams. Now, the only way this could fail is if Lika does decide to, let's just push out, let's go raid the base right now, and there's some RNC players stuck over on that high ground.
Yeah, but I think the great thing with Joker being up that high and at that different areas, it's keeping them off of their roof. I mean, yeah, he's having to peek down low to take on anybody that's shooting rockets rather than being up on that roof.
Yeah.
Oh, and looks like he's also shooting some rockets down at him too.
Yeah, he's trying to put as much pressure as he can down. And Lika, they're just trying to repair, it seems like right now. They can't really walk out in the open because of that peak on the high ground right now. So, again, just a stalemate. But OTF, we talked about them. We talked about them being right next to Americans, getting the walk-in. But Asi Gallo, they end up taking the TC from Americans. Even though Americans are still sitting in a really good second place position, they will not get that TC.
Yeah, with how many teams that were over here, it was I wasn't surprised that Americans didn't get it, but they put in a lot of effort for it and broke that base wide open with all their rockets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty much decimated all the way through and through, and you hate to see it if you're Americans. I mean, you work so hard to take down this base, put a lot of your resources into it, and it ends up falling not in your way and actually to one of your opponents. So it's tough, but I mean, Americans, you just got to keep going. You are not out of it yet. Even though you didn't get this, you're only about 40, 50 points behind. So one TC really can put you back into the game.
Yep, and our leaderboard, I mean, Vladosik is sitting top with 181 points. I mean, Americans is right up there, so they've been able to get so many PvP kills.
Right.
In these battle. But yeah, the top few teams, I mean, they're fairly close. They would still need it. They're a TC behind Vladosik and some PvP points, so they still got work to do.
Yeah. Back to the stalemate matchup. Alika and the RNC matchup. Rockets just being traded. I mean, nothing else much to say than that, but Vladosky, #1 team, looking to make their way over. Mango and squad. Looks like they're making their way onto the back side of Lika, and this could be huge. I mean, that would mean there would be 3 angles. Joker also throwing down rockets, so this could be really good for RNC if they get some help from the other team here.
Yeah, and with him in this position, he's able to reload, get more, just go over to a crate. He's out of rockets. Just go over, grab some more out of the box. I mean, so it's nonstop ammo for him, so it's a really good position.
It's a great position, and Vladosky is getting set up. They won this raid. Now, RNC, you do want to get this TC, but you also, if you can get your neighbors eliminated here, if you can have Vladosky help you, could be huge. You could start making treks out to other places. We've seen how good of a team RNC is at raiding, and I mean, Joker putting down those rockets is going to be a key part of it. I mean, like we said, you can just keep reloading, keep on sending those rockets, sending that air coverage down to them. But Vodowski, they're gonna put some walls up. They're gonna set up a raiding base, try and put some beds down, give themselves a point to respawn, and we'll see if they can help take down Lika.
Yeah, and I think with they have a chance to, if they can get in that wood wall again, RNC, while Vladowski is raiding on the backside, they should be able to get inside the base, hopefully before Vladowski does, and maybe get some boom off inside there, take down some doors, get a better idea, and maybe even defend from Lika's roof.
Yeah, it would be good. I actually don't even know if Lika knows 100% that this raid is coming in from their backside, but one of the members of RNC is here quick, and now they will know the rockets starting to come down from the one side, and Wadowski's also here on this outer compound. So both of these teams are really making the play forward, and Lika, you gotta feel, is going to be in trouble soon.
It's a smart position for Vladowski. I mean, with the neighbors being built so close to each other, you'd assume that the builder put the TC on the opposite side of them, so because the roof rockets were possible, that they wouldn't get the TC taken out within the first few shots.
Right. That would be really smart from them if it is on this side and they could find it without even having to like push in super far. That could just be massive for them. So they're gonna start blowing a hole here through this wall, see what they can do. Under 50 minutes now though in the raiding phase, so approaching our halfway point in the raid phase. I mean, you still got time, but not a lot. You know, if you're on those bottom 5-10 spots on the leaderboard, you definitely need to start making moves. I mean, we talked about R word. They kind of are sitting back away, and they're playing more defensive. Maybe they start need to making a trek out. But one of those Lika players does fall on the outside there. Lika, they're gonna be in trouble. They can do, but back to our town of death. It looks like so many teams, so many teams here. Still, I mean, even after all those teams falling, there's still so much bloodshed, so many teams that really just want to take each other out.
Yeah, and I mean, our team of our groups of 9 up there have definitely lessened, but we have PG on Big Joner.
Yeah.
And Santa.
Yeah, actually, so a double raid will be coming through here. PG want to get some of those points. We saw them taking out a base a little bit earlier, but they have slowed down a little bit because they were getting attacked. So sitting at 109 points, still in contention if they get themselves some TC here, but Big is going to try and set down this defense. They already have a little bit of a hole broken into their base, and PG wants even more than that. They aren't inside just yet, but it looks like Big really trying to play defense, really holding down their outside walls, putting down as many shots as they can to try and hold this team down.
Not sure what he's doing, just opening the door. Santa came in behind PG. Oh, but he's taken out.
Yeah, it's a bloodbath over here, and PG's going to lose a lot of their members. They will get one traded back, but still just one man on the outside. 97 health, we'll see what he can do with that, but Santa is on the roof here, so we'll see what he can do, how much damage that P can really have, and we'll see if Big can make this defense. I mean, they aren't inside just yet, except for Santa, and there you go. Rock is eliminated by Nurik. We talked about them for so long. They were right next to each other, and Nurik makes the trek up this hill. They take out the TC, and they will get themselves some points and the ability to now leave their own area.
It might be a little too late, but I mean, they're up there, 132. So they've been able to at least get enough PvP points and this TC to keep them
100%.
up on the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, they slowed down a little bit, but with taking that TC, I mean, they have 45 minutes, so half of their time. They're still up there, but again, they will need to start making some treks out to get themselves some points. So PG is going to be chilling here. They have some beds It's down here seeing what they can do, really trying to get this push in. They really still want this. And Santa is on their backside, getting some good shots. The first one will go down. Santa just massacring them here, trying to get those extra PvP points. And down to just 2 players of PG. One of the PG players, I believe, downed on the backside. And there you go. Another will fall down to just Blue. See what he can do. Gonna peek out, and he'll take one down. He'll take down Melk. Down to just Mario on Santa. Is gonna be pushing through the trades. And Mario will win it.
Yeah, looks like Santa pushed PG away, and now they're just focusing on Big Johnner, and maybe they can start the boom up again because that little interaction kept it quiet and maybe gave Big Johnner a chance to rebuild.
It's great for them. They just they get that chance to reset. We've talked about how having another team on kind of raiding you, but attacking the other team is actually really good for you. It distracts them and gives you a chance to rebuild. We'll see if they can get those rebuilds off. But talking about building up, I mean, Vladowski, they've been building up their score for all of this raiding period, sitting in that first place position right now, 186 points, topping it right now. But looking like they're going to have to play a little bit of a defensive game right now.
Yep, and that's usually what happens with that first place team. People want them to stop and focused on defense rather than going outside and getting more TCs. But it looks like there's only 2 of them currently home, so the other 2 may be out,
All right,
picking on somebody else.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, having 2 of those players back so you can just communicate. You know that this other team isn't fully inside of your base yet, so you can kind of just say, okay, we're watching them, we're waiting, they're throwing down rockets, and then once they actually do decide to engage, you can kind of tell those players to come on back. But right now, again, we talked about another one of those set of neighbors. They've been raiding each other all day long. But RNC going to be in the base of Lika. Looks like Vladowski. Those other 2 players that we were talking about, looks like they are onto this spot and was just waiting. Ed gets a nice kill. RNC's going to be inside. They're going to be camping. They're going to be waiting. And they're going to be looking for this TC. But Vladowski does not want to give it up for free. And there you go. Lika. Vladowski. They yoink it right from the grasps of RNC.
Yeah, so while being raided, they were able to steal another TC, put them up to 227 points, and now these guys can go back and defend their raid.
Yeah, I mean, I have no words. They just go in and yoink it. RNC had been raiding them for 45 minutes, and they just go and nope, that's ours. Thank you. We'll head back home now.
But this does free up RNC, similar to Neric, where they can finally move away from their own base and try to get TCs.
It frees them up a little bit, and they aren't horrible on the point leaderboard. Obviously, they've gotten some of those PV points to kind of sustain themselves, so they'll be up at 128. But they'll be free to leave now. They'll be free to go explore, attack other bases. But it really sucks. I mean, that you got to feel for them that they've been raiding that for 45 minutes, and it just Vladowski just nope, that's ours. We'll be taking that and going home now.
Yeah, and look at this base. Look at the shooting floors. LF Hot Mom. And this is Flossie's base. So he's in there.
Yeah.
Can't do much of anything right now except for just peek around.
Yeah, maybe get some kills. Just be a nuisance.
Yeah. We have some more boom. Where are you? The best. Purplu's team taking on... Trying to...
Hard to aim, yeah.
Not hard to aim. So I don't know where those guys are, but they should probably have ones in the base, so they're aware. That's my always thing is like, are they aware they're being raided?
I don't know, but I mean, the best are kind of Hey, the best really need this base. Honestly, they are sitting down in third to last right now, 62 points to their name, so they need to start doing something. I think this is a good start, kind of raiding this base. I don't know if they realize that no one is home, but hard to aim. You got to know soon that the best is raiding your base, but the best, they need this. I mean, they need these 40 points. They need them bad, and they really need to do it quick.
Yep, and they're just booming their way in. I think they either have an idea or they're just trying to maybe get access to the roof. I'm not really sure. Or they just have a really good feeling that it's back here somewhere. And that's another thing too, is they get so used to they've played these teams week in and week out, and so they know this base design. They know the builder, they know where the TC might be placed, or they think they do. And they move on those instincts and a little bait.
Yeah, they have been pretty consistent in showing up, and it's exactly like you said. Like they could know they practice so much that they might know the exact thing. And Ceci Gallo is actually going to be eliminated. We saw their aggression a little bit earlier, but they will fall. We're at 7th place, but no longer. Their TC is going to be eliminated. They are going to be out.
And that was by the 2nd place team, Probitia.
Yeah, that's good for them too. I mean, they're going to jump themselves up into that 2nd place, like you're saying. 183 points to their name, going to be great, but hard to aim. Talking about them, their name is not true. They had some great aim there. They'll take down some of those players on that shooting floor, and really good defense so far from them. Flossie's base here. I love Hot Mom still kind of have a few players up in here that are trying to kind of push further to take it in. Just jumping around, we're seeing what's going on. It looks like that 9 squad, area neighborhood of doom has dropped to just 4.
And we have Abu Gaga coming in, building a raid base, maybe going after the number 1. But looks like they're running into... Oh no, it was just Vladowski trying to get over there and sneak around them. And he's still Deathwing is right there. Come on.
Setting up some of those beds, seeing what they can do. But we've talked about, if you're that 1st place team, you have a target onto your back. And I mean, there's a pretty big one right now on Vladowski. They're up 60 points on their next opponent. And I mean, they got 40 minutes that they will have to defend and keep up this point total. So it'll be interesting if one of these teams does decide to try and raid them. But Vladowski, I mean, they're sending players out. They do not want anybody to raid them, and getting some really nice kills. The beds will be destroyed. Vladowski, just such a good job right now, playing the game so well.
Absolutely. Gates are open, so Nosh is going to try to make a move into it. Just Bald is in there, so he's going to take care of him.
Just some firefighting going on. No real holes in their base just yet, so we will see. It looks like Vladowski going to drop down to that bottom and take them down. That was just beaming.
A little nice little bounce on the bed.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they have a little bit of their compound broken open. But overall, still okay for now. They don't have really any holes in their base. WL, again, one of the teams that was kind of a little bit isolated, I believe. Just chilling it out, chilling on their log cabin.
Trying to figure out what they were going to do next. Or who they're going to go mess with. I'm not really sure.
We'll have to see, but Vladowski again going to be holding down the 1st place spot right now. 60 points in the lead, 37 minutes about left here in this raiding phase. But it looks like Nurik is up on this hill, was one of those teams that was in that 2v2, I do believe. But it looks like they're going to get some great shots down the hill. And PG, they're going to lose 1. They're going to be pushed onto, and the last member is going to be fried. So great usage of their members by Nurik to send those players down, make sure they do not get any room on them at all. Very well done from them.
PG wasn't nearly as sneaky as I thought they were. They still have Oh, he's just down. F1 guy, come on. We move on. You gotta go get a gun.
Yeah, definitely. That would probably help if you could go re-kit yourself up. Not really much you can do with no real teammates around, but a really nice defense so far from Nurik. They are keeping themselves in the race. They're in 5th right now. They're going to want some more points. I mean, we talked about how Vladowski is just jumping up in that point total. They're getting some of those defense points. They're getting PvP points. Seems like a couple of the other teams have kind of slowed down. I mean, Americans, we saw them in 2nd at one point. They've kind of slowed down to 150. Still in the running. But they need to start making moves now.
Yeah, and I mean it is towards the end of the raid period and the whole tournament, and most people are running out of boom because they used it all, maybe got pushed back and didn't get that TC, didn't get the loot. And they have to start over again.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, you're just in that raid, you know, you're in the zone, then you're like, how much boom do we have, guys? Like, none. Oh, that's tragic. We gotta back up. We gotta go reset and get all that. And I mean, you got 35 minutes left. You can go maybe loot up some, try and get ready, but if you slow down too much, I mean, Vladowski right now is looking like they're not slowing at all, so.
Yeah, and I would assume like RNC, with how close they are to launch, they could probably get in there, maybe take Bradley, get some more boom, and move out. So the location definitely helps them. And somebody's on the move.
Yeah, it's gonna be RNC who are gonna be flying up in this heli chopper, going to try and make the move over to another base. And we talk about RNC, they're a little bit lower on the leaderboard, 130 points, 9th place right now, but a TC would jump them up into about 3rd place. And I mean, they need a couple to get themselves up into 1st, but I think the biggest thing right now is Vladowski has a massive target on their back. We've seen it throughout. I mean, you talk about last week, the #1 team fell because they had that big target on their back, and all these teams are going to be thinking, is it easier for us to take 3 TCs out or take out the #1 team?
Yeah. Definitely puts into play, but like they always said, is like #1 is usually #1 for a reason.
Right.
So it's going to be hard for them, but with enough counters, as long as they aren't pushed too hard by other counters, I mean, it's going to be a chance. But oh, it looks like these guys are going to be getting some visitors really soon.
Yep, another one of those bases on the water going to be visited by
Nope,
yeah, the
they changed their mind.
Yeah. Proving us wrong, you know.
Of course, when we think we know where you're going, you change your mind.
Never let them know your next move, you know. Just always change plans.
Yeah, and they decided to come back to Papitos? Or is this... Yeah.
Yep, gonna be just crashing on in here to the base. Gonna make a lot of noise, but I mean, they are in here. They don't have to break out any of the outside compound. See if they can maybe get some beds up, something of the sort, but none of the enemy players are here. They are out away raiding, so RNC, they are getting a free entrance into here. Papitos, they hear this though, I think, and they are coming back. But the C4, oh my gosh, from RNC, they are gonna blow it open. Oh man, this is massive for them. That's just huge so far.
Yeah, they've had plenty of time to gather, only fighting Lika for that long time, so now they have a chance to really get in here. All that boom they saved up.
Yep. I mean, and they're just putting down 4-stack C4. They're blowing up everything. This bottom floor does not stand a chance. Really targeting this outside. Oh man, there's so much C4. And the shots are good too. Joker gonna take another out along with him, but it looks like Papitos did get some trades here, so you have to be careful. Make sure you want to get those Joker's down. So I don't know if they have beds or something of the sort to try and get that resurrection. But
No, I don't think they had any.
No, so some good boom will take down the bottom floor, but nothing really else. They will waste that attack helicopter kind of in that in that raid. But
and that's one of the problems too, is like with the amount of players, since this is only 4v4, you don't have those extra players to go, hey, watch the gates, make sure nobody sneaks in there and kills us. And so everybody's focused on solely on doing C4, that there's loud noises, they can't hear the footsteps, they can't hear the gates opening, and they're dead.
Yeah, it's tough, and with four-mans, it's exactly like you're saying. Like, you have a limited number of resources, and we saw it from Papitos that they had to have to send 4 people out for their raid, or it just wasn't going to be a strong enough raid. And then as soon as they hear any noise, they have to just cancel the raid and send all 4 players back to try and stop it.
Yeah. And we have the best trying to get into Beta Luggy. They were able to rebuild from the last time somebody broke in. He's just looking around, seeing if there's any openings.
Right. See if they can find anything. Still a lot of bases to be raided, but only really 30 minutes left here for all of these teams. We'll see, honestly, what they can do because you're running out of time, and Vladowski is still alive here, still living in that first place position. Their lead is still about 70 points, so they've been doing a really good job just defending. And Americans, they want to, I believe, make a move to try and maybe take somebody else out, defending their own base right now, trying to just defend this outer wall.
Yep. Just peeking around, getting some kills, still getting some PvP points, but American, they've got some shooters on their team.
100%. They have some really nice, really good PvPers that are getting those points, really trying to catch themselves up. They're a little bit behind. They were in that second place at one point, but I mean they've dropped down a little bit. They're in this kind of neighborhood of death, so it's hard to really make a push without getting it stolen. And that's exactly what happened. I believe they had the OTF base absolutely just yoinked from them, and losing out on those points after expending so many resources on it, it hurts so bad. And you really just have to keep going, keep trying to raid into their base, but using up so many of those resources, it's tough. And we'll see what Americans can do, but down in just third place right now, about 100 points behind Vladowski.
Yeah, and Flossie is trying to make a move on LF Hot. They already have a break in the compound, so now they just need their Rocketeers to actually bust open a wall for them, which they're hitting a little high now, but that could be to keep away the guys from the shooting floor.
Yeah, kind of dual purpose, maybe try and get some of those kills on the high ground while also blowing open some of their base. Just trying to break through this metal on the outside. See what they can do. And LF Hot Mom, I mean, they're kind of chilling right now, just trying to play that defense. We talked about them just a little bit earlier, that they were raiding some other bases, but again, these people are still kind of neighbors, so they kind of just want to take each other out right now. And for now, it kind of seems like it's kind of like a 4v4 and another 4v4. It kind of seems like Flossie just wants to focus on LF Hot Mom, and Probite just wants to focus on Americans for now. But obviously, there are other teams kind of in the mix that want to get a piece of it.
Absolutely. But at some point, somebody else is going to poke their nose into this little tiff that these guys are having, because it just never fails. Somebody hears boom and they're like, okay, we need to go get them. They have boom. We need the boom.
Right.
And yeah, it's never ending.
Yeah, pretty much. It'll be like that. And a lot of these teams, I mean, there's going to be 4 teams still in this kind of area that really just want to take each other out. If you can take the other team out, you can get their boom, you can maybe move on to the next raiding base, but we're all pretty much just a stalemate at the moment. I mean, all of these teams just really pushing each other out, but right now it looks like Flossie's pushing a little bit harder, trying to get into this outer compound. The shots will be traded, though. They will lose their first member, peeking around the wall, but they will take a trade in return, trying to push in, but will get killed. So LF Hot Mom, some nice defense of their outer compound.
And they got some new kits, and maybe just try to hold that breach so no more Flossie can get in.
Yep. See if they can just hold it down, you know, hold those angles, see what they can do, and it'll be interesting to see what they can do, because I mean, they've had a lot of these walls set up, so they have an ability to kind of walk between each other's base, but a player of the best actually is over here who's going to get caught out and killed. But to just fighting back and forth, fighting to see who can win. Again, just a stalemate. It's pretty much the best way to describe it. As we kind of hop over, it looks like Reward, I believe, is this outer base, trying to hold the defense against this team that is just shooting some nice rockets and blowing a pretty big hole into this outside.
Yeah, hard to aim. This is their second attempt at this base, and I mean, you might want to try a different angle. You never know, but I mean, there's not really much else any other spots they can get at on this peninsula, but maybe if they can keep this team inside their base, they might have a better chance. I think they lost mainly when the defending team was able to get out there on the ground and shoot them.
Yeah. That's pretty much what happened, but if you remember, I believe Reward, their base is really strong. Like, the inside is pretty strong. They've had that time to play the defense to try and set it up. So it's going to be a hard base to raid, but, I mean, they are also at the bottom. They haven't done any exploring out, so Reward, you really need these defense points. You really need these PvP points. You do not want to let Hard to Aim get into the base. We've seen how devastating Hard to Aim can actually not be like their name and actually how good their aim is. So if they get into your base, it could be really bad for Reward, even if your base is very strong.
It'd be that like psychological effect, make you think that we are really bad players. So go ahead and come 1v1 us. And he's trying to get up walls to stop the rockets, not full strength, but it will deflect a rocket. But they got to get multiples in like that. There we go.
Yeah, that's just really nice. Just sending multiple rockets at the same time, triple rockets, blowing up some nice holes in the wall, and we're just trying to hold back, trying to push back. There's nothing really they can do, though. Like you said, last time when they got out to that ground floor, it seemed like they were more successful, but this time they're kind of just hiding by themselves inside.
Yeah, you have the one guy trying to rebuild, and then I think the rest are on the roof, but they're obviously not getting good shots off.
Yeah, kind of just seems like they're cowering in their own base, just trying to hope that these rockets stop or anything, trying to get some good shots to maybe get some kills out of these players, but hard to aim. I mean, they're just putting down great shots. The first player will go down, though. Will be looking to get res, so that'll be good from them. They'll get their player back up.
Yeah, and Frey is making a move inside. But Kendall Roy is on the outside, so he may be able to push out and while everybody's rocketing. Come on, take out the bed.
Yeah, we'll be looking, and they're going to be in. So this is great from Hard to Aim. They're going to be looking for this base. But they're going to have to blow through a lot of these walls, just trying to take out this garage door maybe first. That is the ability. Oh, and
thank you for opening that door.
Going to
now get to shooting floor.
Yeah, just free access. Just give the man all the keys to the house.
That's very nice. He needs to get back down there.
I mean, he'll have all those peaks now too. So our Dame is going to look for this push. The rocket's still going to come through. See if they can get themselves on in here. If they can maybe grab themselves a TC. It'd be very, very much in their favor. But they got some players in here. Right now, Reward is holding down some of that roof access. But our Dame has destroyed some of their beds and limited their respawn points too.
Absolutely. There's still some beds in there. So the one that's in there needs to probably help his teammates out, clear it out. Even if he dies, just making them spawn outside would be a big benefit to Hard Dame. Now they're getting a chance to rebuild.
Yep, getting a little bit of a chance to defend as we'll switch on over. It looks like PG, I believe, has a successful defense here. As we'll switch on back. So Ladowski here again, being this #1 team. Their base has taken a little bit of damage, some holes in the walls on the outside, but they have definitely not fallen yet, and they are showing off their PvP skills. They are really winning these duels here to defend their base. So really only the enemy teams can do is put some rockets down. They're just putting great shots down. They're defending really well, and they're going to have to hold this defense for 22 more minutes.
Yeah, we have Nurik trying to get some little cheeky rockets off, but he's got to worry about everybody trying to outflank him.
Right. Gotta worry about those side angles, but putting down rockets for now. We'll see what they can do. Ladowski, I mean, they have a couple holes in their wall, but it doesn't seem like everybody's focusing on them. Maybe one or two teams, but putting a little bit of a sized hole in the side will be good for them to try and for Nurik to try and get on in. But Albo Gaga is going to be on the outside, taking a lot of shots here from RNCU, is holding down that gas station. Nash is also here, so it is just an absolute dog pile. So many teams around here.
Vladowski is clearing out RNC up top, though. So helping to get rid of some of the people and getting a better angle to defend some of the people attacking his base.
Right. And maybe get some of those angles. Maybe get like anything can help. Honestly, when you're being raided by that many teams, it's really tough, and it just seems like, you know, that they're trying to do the best that they can, just trying to, just hold down from every side. That's all you really can do as the #1 team.
Yeah, Vladosik is doing a pretty dang good job of it. I mean, they're able to start rebuilding thanks to some of the coverage. Somebody stole a horse. That is hanging offense in some countries, in some states around here. Dang horse thieves. Oh goodness. All right, so they're going full tilt in here. They've gotten rid of some of the beds.
Yeah, getting rid of some of those respawn points is it's pretty massive, and there you go. Reward is going to be eliminated by hard to aim. They catch the TC, and they'll catch some points along with it.
Yeah, took out the last place team. So now we just need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more teams to get enough points to get up and make that nice clean leaderboard.
Yep, easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Just jump on up. They're 20 minutes too, just do it pretty quick. Speed run it.
Yeah. And these guys, unfortunately, I mean, like, yeah, they're going to get this loot, but they have a long way back to anything, and that's going to eat up a lot of time for them. And WL was eliminated.
Oh. Yep.
The best.
Yeah, it just seems like they walk in, they take it out, and very well done from the best. Just focusing on the targets that are easier to raid, trying to get those easy points. And the best, I mean, they need those points, jumping themselves up to 132. Maybe not the best they have wanted to perform here today, but still a decent emotional reward though for them.
Yeah, but I mean, look at all those doors that were open. It just makes me so mad.
Yeah.
Like, that might have been an easier counter, or that might have drawn the attention of other people in enough time. But with that free access to the whole base, it's kind of sad.
Right. Again, just leaving the keys on the front door for them to walk in and take everything. But as it stands right now, Vladowski has held down. They're at 297. Still 80 points, 90 points ahead of any other team that is on this leaderboard. And I think the big choice from a lot of these teams is we have to go take them out. That really we cannot get enough TCs in that time. We just need to, walk in and take them out. But we've seen them all day. Their defense has been stellar.
Yeah. And at what point do you, like these guys in second and third place, leave your base? See, they're finally leaving. But I think you're probably going to go after Vladosik just because this is the only way that they can get it at this point, is to take them out, get that 40-point TC, and get on top and jump Probitie. Got these names.
Yeah, that would really be the only thing. I mean, Americans, it's possible. If you take out Vladowski, you get that TC for 40 points, you jump yourselves up into that first place spot. It'll be a close race between you and the second place team, but it'll be interesting, and I think that's the choice for a lot of these teams, that we don't have time to go and raid 2, 3, 4 bases to make that point value up. We really just have to go raid that top team. But it looks like Americans might have a different idea into their pocket. They are going to be landing, it looks like, on Santa, or maybe close by, maybe just flying over, who knows. A lot of shots raining down onto them. Have to be careful because there are some other teams around that don't want to let them fly in this airspace for free, and some bullets going to fly down. But Big is not in their base, it looks like, and they might go for it and might land on it.
Yeah, this wouldn't have been my first choice of raid targets. I mean, yeah, there's still a lot of stone. It's possibly an easy TC, but won't get them that first spot.
won't get them that first spot, might get them that second spot, and the players aren't also here, so they're going to really not get any PvP points right now. The players do see that helicopter coming in, so they will respawn back at the base, and some kills will start to be traded through, as it looks like Americans, they're going to get the res on, so holding down right now, but the beams are good. Big is going to get
Joby.
a nice defense, yeah.
Some great spotting. Respawn, kit up super quick, and shoot. It was a very good defense, but Santa's gonna come over. Looks like.
Yep,
Gonna try to push him.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, Santa, you hear that noise going on, you want to go and get another push, but you only got 15 minutes left here. It's rough. I mean, if you're one of these bottom teams, you really have to do something drastic. You cannot really care about your own base anymore. You just have to send everybody out, send the teams out to try and go take anything you can. Because again, Vladowski is still alive here, still in this top spot.
And Mario taking quick work of these Big Johnner guys. And if he's planning on doing anything, if he brought any boom, or is he just PvPing it out?
I don't know. Just kind of chilling, hiding behind.
Come on, Mario.
Maybe he's looking for one of those green pipe, Oh, a green pipe for him. No superpowers.
Yeah. We have another raid.
Yep. It looks like, I believe Nurk is going to be defending here. And our second place team, they want to look for some more points. And instead of going for Vladosic, is going to be going for Nurk, who was in that early fight with another team right beside them. But this time they decide to play a little bit of a defensive game here.
Okay, so they're seeing the high quality. Oh. Maybe tell your teammates to hold the rockets. Oh.
Yeah, one player will get knocked. They'll get that res off, hopefully, but just some uncoordination from the teams. You got to get those comms back together. Don't want to have a rocket coming straight towards you right when you put that ladder up.
No. Yep. Like, hey guys, hold on. I've got the C4. Would you stop it? Jeez.
They keep blowing out his ladder. They hate it.
At least they are aiming at the same spot. I mean, I've seen some pretty bad rockets in this in this tournament, so that's actually pretty good aim.
Yep. It's great. It's
and nothing.
At all. They get a little bit unlucky there. The ladder gonna go up again. Will it get destroyed? Again. Nurk gonna lose some members on the outside there. Gonna send some more out though and get some trades here, as it looks like they will get most, if not all, of the players here. Americans are here. Americans are looking to kill those players, try and take out their beds, try and take out their respawn point, but it is just one member. But it is, he's gonna put down some great shots, and he's on the backside, so just one player left alive, seeing if he can destroy those beds, try and halt that push onto Nurk.
I realize that guy is not worth it. And Danny taken out, trying to be sneaky. Oh, I know that wasn't Danny. My brain thought it was Danny. Okay. Thought I was imagining things. I was like, he's not over in this fight.
Yeah,
Alright, exclamation point is doing pretty dang good. He's down to 2 health though.
Yeah, down to pretty much nothing. I mean, this raid is pretty much stopped at this point, and I mean, I think the biggest story so far, I think we got to keep talking about it, is Vladosic, who is still at the top. Looks like Santa, this boat base is going to finally get raided. We'll see how it holds up. We'll see if this iceberg of PG can take it down. But again, Vladosic, they're up 80 points right now, and they're still defending. They're still holding on, but they got to hold on for 12 more minutes.
Oh, with that team, I think they can. But as long as they can rebuild and just keep pushing people back, they should be fine.
That's a good point. Their fights on the outside, their fights in their compound have just been just massive. So clean. So we'll see if they can keep it up, and they just gotta do it for 12 minutes. And Santa gonna be getting pushed in here by PG, who have kind of made their way into the base. They have made a hole into it. Now see this boat design that is, they're actually gonna get a kill. Some rockets going to come through to try and destroy this upper ground, but there are a lot of doors here. That is the whole point of this base. There's a lot of rooms to stay in this Titanic. But again, will PG be able to take it down?
Yeah, I mean, in that long, elongated hallway, I mean, it's just a death trap for them trying to get on their, unless they have control of the roof and take out these beds. I mean, it's a very well designed base for that fact. I mean, for that little trap that's in there.
Yeah, unless you control the roof, it's very hard to get inside of, and they also have the ability. I mean, they don't maybe have as many doors as the other, but PG, all of the members you see go red as they were away, and the best will take them out while they are away. We talked about how you kind of have to send all 4 members out. The best just walk in. It doesn't even seem like they had to put in a lot of work. Just take them out.
Nope, just ladder up, boom down. And they moved up from 17th to 4th.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Massive story.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they
we'll see how far
just
can
went
go.
down.
Just ladder down.
And we move on to Nash was eliminated.
And
Oh, by Vlados.
they are nuts. You don't even care that they're the top team right now. They're just like, okay, let's go out and raid. Let's go take somebody else down. With 10 minutes left, them being the top team, 100 points ahead, they're like, nah, let's just go raid. Why not? And they get a whole nother base. So props to them, and their lead has increased to 120.
Yeah, the fact that they were left alone with an opportunity to leave their base and go attack another just blows my mind. It's like you should be pestering the hell out of them, making sure they can't leave.
Like 3-4 teams that were all raiding their base, and then they all just kind of, we'll give up on them. They won't leave, probably. They'll probably stay inside. But no, Vladowski, they just fly out. They're out in an instant. They take another base down, and they're already back home, it seems like, to kind of defend. And they definitely seem like the front runner. Unless these other teams start to pile again on Vladosic, it's pretty much going to be over. I mean, they're 120 points ahead. That's 3 TCs right there.
Yeah. And somebody would have to just get a lucky shot on their base, which with their builder, I really doubt. Like their base seems pretty strong and intact.
It's strong, and it's going to be tough. And we saw how hard it was to actually raid them. They have to be the favorites for this one. I mean, I think that's all. I mean, the real question is just going to be who's going to be second. I mean, Americans, they were raiding. We'll see if they can get a successful raid off, but right now it all comes down to exactly like you're saying. If Vladosic can hold down, they can hold and wait, just wait out these 8.5 minutes, they will win for sure. 120 points ahead, and we saw how clean their compound defense was, that no one really, I mean, you could shoot rockets down into them, but any player that tried to walk into their compound was almost immediately killed.
Yeah, and we have the best going on and trying to take out Nurik.
Yeah, the best trying to make their way up. Obviously, we talked about them jumping up the leaderboard. See if they can do any damage here, take out another one of those teams. Still a lot of teams left, but again, it's just our top team. That's the biggest story, I think, other than the best, who have, I mean, they've been a big story here today too, because they've jumped up so many places from being down into those like bottom 20s up into this 5th place spot.
Yeah, and just the ability to make that move. It's just that the one TC you get. I mean, oh, very nice shooting there. Come on, you can do it. Laddering up your own base, get all that loot. And looks like they pushed them, but Americans is trying to sneak in there. Exclamation point is trying to be sneaky.
Everyone just sneaking around. I mean, Nurk, they're just trying to get this defense off. Down to just 7 minutes left, though. So it will be an interesting one. Americans, they were raiding, I know that, but I think it might have been pushed back at the moment. So hard to aim. Their base still standing. A lot of these bases actually still in pretty good shape here. And Abobo Gaga, we saw them early. I believe they were doing really, really good in that attack phase, but honestly just falling short. It seems like not getting as many raids as they would have liked, sitting in 15th with 140 at the moment. If they can do anything to catch up, but looking a little bit grim for anybody that's outside of the top 3. And even if you're in the top 3, I mean, you still have a while to catch up to Vladosic.
Yeah. So we have aim and hard to aim. So this is the first time I think we're seeing aim.
Gotcha.
So I guess they typically play together, but since it's 4 mans, they may have split into 2 or reached out to another member. And that's what's fun about this as well. Like the smaller the teams are, usually you get these teams that play in and out, like week in and week out with each other, and then they split up, and so they know how they build their builds, they know how they shoot and their tactics, and then so going up against each other, it just adds a whole nother element to the smaller ones.
It's very interesting because, like, if a team knows all of your strategies, then it'll be rough. Like, is they can get in, they can try and raid and stuff like that. But some boom will be coming through to destroy one of these walls here as we approach just about 5 minutes left. So not a lot of time, and you have to think again. Vladosic, 120-point lead at the moment. I mean, I assume if you're Vladosic, you probably just play defense, but that's what we thought last time, and they just went out and raided another TC. But
They're not worried. They probably left one person behind just to call out if somebody is coming to raid them, but other than that, they're having fun.
it seems like they have it unlocked. They just need to play 5 more minutes of defense, play the best defense you played for 5 minutes, and you'll win. And I mean, there's nothing really any other team can do about it unless they get 4 or 3 TCs in 5 minutes, or they take you down. So that's really the only thing they can do.
Oh, was that a flashbang? We have these new items. I've yet to see a Molotov cocktail, and I would like to see that. If anybody would, if you're throwing out the silly things. But I think that's the first time we've seen one being used.
Oh.
Oh, nice shot. I love the names. The names of these players and the teams. They can either be hard to pronounce or just ridiculous.
So creative, aren't they?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes not so much.
Yeah. Under 4 minutes left here. We are approaching the end. And some teams just doing some random raiding, seeing if they can get any PvP points, maybe jump themselves up. But it looks like a pretty solidified first and second place right now, unless Americans or LF Hot Mom did get a TC here at the end. I would think that LF Hot Mom is just defending here, I believe. I would actually look, they are raiding, so Flossie is going to be the raiding target for them. Going to be putting some C4 down, seeing what they can do, but at this point, you need to get it quick. You're down to just 3 minutes left, and that's all the time you got until the timer hit 0.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys, if they know it's going to be one of the advent calendar style bases, they know they can go and hit those triangles because usually the TCs are hidden amongst one of those triangles. So that's all this guy is doing, is just dropping all the C4 and tunneling down. Oh, and a Flossie just snuck by him.
Just coexisting, seeing what they can do, seeing if they can find any bases. But I mean, again, Vladosky, their lead has dropped by just a few points, but it's still a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
it's massive. 115 points for them. It was such a great day for them, and if they can hold down for just a few more minutes, it'll be really good. I mean, they played so well. They played really aggressive, but they also, when they needed to, played such a good defense. One of the best we've seen in the lobby today, where any team that really tried to engage onto them, they just were caught at the compound and killed. So yeah, they got rockets thrown onto them, but they played honestly just a perfect set of games today.
And Santa taken out. Again, these two have been going back and forth, trading blows, not really getting anywhere.
Trading helicopters, trading everything, you know.
Just like, oh, we're just going to let you loan that. We'll just trade some PvP points. That's it.
Right.
Now we have Papitos.
Down to a minute
Changing
30.
some fire. Betalagi is kind of hanging around them, but not really getting much.
Bobo Gaga on a kill streak, but I don't know if that matters too much now as we are down to just our final minute. I mean, I think we know the winner. I think it's not going to be a question in anybody's mind. It's not going to come down to the last minute. Their base seems like it is going to survive. These other teams just trying to put whatever else down they can. Some C4 to maybe find one of those TCs. Give themselves a little bit of a happy ending to the day. But just 45 seconds left. That's all they have to raid a base.
Not much. They'd have to, I think, probably have about 10 more players to get really anything done this quickly, and it's impossible.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. With only having those 4 players, it's going to be hard to raid base in these final moments, and that's all it is left is final moments. Is the best they did play their best today, but maybe not getting as many points as they would have wanted. Just putting down the C4, maybe seeing if they can get lucky, but just down to these final 10 seconds as again our winning team here playing really good defense. They built up a nice defense. The timer will tick down.
Oh,
and
there was my Molotov.
Get it at the end, but there you go. Dosic is going to be your champion.
They did really well. I mean, 4 raids completed, 4 raid defenses. I mean, and the kills, the 168 over 990.
Yeah, the KD is great. For them, though, I mean, 4 raids completed. 4 raid defenses. I think that's the big story is they were just all around a great team that they went out, they took down all of these other people, again, not having as much care for their own base because I feel like they had confidence in their builder. They had confidence that we can go out and raid a base, we'll be fine. If we need to come back, we can. And when they were at that top position, when they had that target on their back, they come back and their defense was stellar. 4 successful defenses and no one could even get in the compound.
Agreed. They were able to really keep everybody at bay, and most people were caught up fighting themselves rather than focusing on the biggest threat to the whole tournament.
Yeah, we talked about those 2 sets of 2 teams that were kind of just fighting against each other and burning all of their time away. But I mean, they will get that first place. Fadosic, it is a very good job from them. But I mean, our second place team. Kills are going to be the big story. 2 successful raids completed from this team, but 158 kills from them. That's a big number right there.
Yeah, just over the positive KDA. I mean, no raid defenses, so they were mainly the attackers. 53 kills for Nikita, which I'm not really surprised. The great shot.
That's really fantastic from them. A good second place from them. They hold it out until the end. Flossie actually jumped themselves up into 3rd place. Really tight, actually, between like our 3rd through 7th place teams. But Flossie, the real story I think for them was the raid defenses. We saw them kind of getting raided by a lot of different teams. So having to defend really gave them those points. 122 kills for them and a successful raid to add on to their day.
Yeah, they did really well. I mean, even though they didn't get a raid off. We have LF Hot Mom with 0 raids, even though they were trying to pick on a few teams.
They tried early, it seemed like, but they kind of got caught up defending their own base. 4 defenses, 153 kills. Again, they kind of placed themselves in that fourth place spot. Nothing to really be ashamed of. A really good amount of points that really kept them in contention until the end. But Vladosic just really had a really good day. Talking about another one of those teams that was really close, Americans. I mean, 201 points. I feel like they had the possibility to win today because they had that raid early on OTF and they just got it stolen from them. And so
Yeah.
I felt like if they would have had that raid early, it could have maybe skyrocketed them towards something else, pushed them earlier towards something else, but it ends up getting stolen from Americans and they end up in fifth.
They did. They did really, really well. Positive KDA, 3 raid defenses. So I mean, people were still trying to attack them, but that was also in the town with the 9 teams right next to each other. And yeah, I mean, Rose with 57, Hisoka 50. I mean, those are some great numbers, but just not enough. They didn't get complete any of those raids that would have helped them.
The kills were off the charts. I mean, that's probably the team that had the most kills throughout this whole thing, 171. But I mean, Vladosic is going to be your champion there. They win. They do a really good job overall. 375 points, kind of leagues away from everyone else. And we were talking about it. The only way they would have really lost is if another team really took them out.
Yeah. And we have Big Johnner, 7 raid defenses, 121 kills. So they did have a positive KDA, but the numbers, I mean, you can see the big difference with how far away they built compared to where that big town was. They weren't able to get as many kills, but still 40 isn't bad.
40 not too bad. 7 raid defenses. That's pretty huge. I mean, 121 kills will be good for them. The KD is positive in their favor, but some nice raid defenses. They didn't really have the chance. It seems like they were being raided just very constantly. So like as soon as they tried to go through, tried to go raid somebody else, they were getting attacked. But Nurek, we've talked about them. They were kind of stuck in that, that lull of fighting another team. 1 successful raid completed, 4 successful raid defenses, and 106 kills.
Yeah, the numbers there weren't as strong as this one. Papitos, 181 kills. So they did really well, but lack of any raids completed and raid defenses. I mean, just 1 raid defense, and their numbers show that, even though they have that high kill.
Yeah, that's a lot of kills right there. But again, like you were saying, no successful raids completed. Hate to see it. I mean, it seems like they were putting down work, but maybe just not enough. Yeah, just stuck in that lull again, kind of fighting one of their neighbors, just kind of trying to get through them, and just really couldn't. Just kind of stuck.
Yeah, Betalagi and them both had like just back and forth between each other, but nothing was ever done. We have Santa. That was our Titanic base. 2 raid defenses, 1 raid completed, 126. So we have a negative KDA, but the kills weren't really there for them. Only 38 from Titanium.
Yeah, they again kind of fell into that kind of, they were away from everybody else where they had to travel super far to maybe get those raids completed, and I feel like it really hurt them. That it's tough to really be in one of those towns of 9, but I mean it's even tougher when you're super far away from everyone. You can't get all those resources from them. You can't get those kills. You can't get those chances at raids, and I really think that their positioning may have hurt them.
Absolutely. We have the best with 2 raids, 0 points, and still only in 10th place. But the kills, they were dead even on their kills versus death. Really, really good team. They just maybe didn't see enough action. I'm not really sure why the numbers are as low as they are.
Yeah, I would have to agree that they didn't see as much action. Betalagi going to be kind of the same way. 7 raid defenses. It seemed like they nonstop were just being raided. So only 113 kills, but some nice defense from them. Maybe they can take that defense knowledge into next week and see if they can make it better. Maybe play a little bit more aggressive.
Absolutely. And Abobo Gaga, one of our favorite teams to say. 0 raids completed, 2 raid defenses. Even KDA, 49. Dick was the sharpshooter of the team, but in 12th place.
Yeah, some okay kills for them, and aim going to be also down in here, 171 points for them overall, and some nice kills along with just a few kills, you know.
Yeah, this is why we only saw them that one time. They were not in really any action other than probably their defense.
Yeah, pretty much other than that, and then RNC, one of our final team here on the leaderboard, 92 kills, pretty good, some good defense, but again, they just got kind of stuck. Maybe didn't play as aggressive as they would have wanted.
So, yeah, it looks like that is it. That was our tournament, our NA Base Invaders tournament for 4v4, and our winners are Vladosik.
Yeah, a huge congratulations to them. They did fantastic today. It is great to see, but obviously we'll have another tournament next week. We'll have EU and NA, so make sure to follow on the Twitch. Make sure to if you want to participate in these, head over to the Discord server and you can get yourself on into these tournaments and get some practice. Maybe earn yourself some money. But again, we'll have EU and NA next Sunday. Make sure to stop by then. Any other thoughts before we head off, Blast?
I was happy I got to see the flashbang and the Molotov, even if it was right at the end.
Yeah, those new items in the game, good to see them. But again, a huge thank you to all of our players for showing up today. We love to have them. Hopefully they can come back next week, take what they learned and kind of apply it to next week. Maybe new builds, new fun stuff for them. Also like to thank everybody behind the scenes, all the people that make this possible, the observers, Kaz and Gigi for producing here today. And also thank all the people in Twitch chat. You guys are amazing for hyping it up, for loving it, and appreciate all you guys so much for watching. This has been Rustoria Base Invaders 4v4 North America. Your champion is Vladosik. And thank you all for watching. We will see you all next time.